Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
This is Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 2, Episode 7. Last time we met Toph, and she joined the group.
It was really cool.
One of the best introductions of all time to a character. And now we're going to see what happens this episode. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. I've seen Avatar, Lindsay has not. Check out patreon.com/BOLDcast to get 2 weeks ahead of uncut reactions, 1 week ahead of edited reactions. Once again, leave a like, subscribe, and we hope you enjoy most of all. Let's go!
Oh, we're getting these now.
You will learn respect.
Ozai's Mark Hamill, by the way. Luke Skywalker, Joker.
My father says she was born lucky. He says I was lucky to be born. I've always had
Such a
this
crazy line. ZUKO alone.
Classic episode.
Oh boy. Picked a really rough path to follow.
Spider snake eyes. Yeah.
Like those spider snake eyes.
Could I get some water, a bag of feed, and something hot to eat?
Not enough here for a hot meal. I can get you 2 bags of feed.
Gonna gamble.
Yeah, I could have eaten that egg.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh no.
You throwing eggs at us?
No.
If I had eggs, I would eat them.
No.
That's your favorite word? No?
Egg had to come from somewhere.
Maybe a chicken flew over.
Thanks for your contribution. The army appreciates your support. You better leave town.
Wow.
Penalty for staying's a lot steeper than you can afford, stranger. Trust me.
Supposed to protect us from the Fire Nation, but they're just a bunch of thugs.
Thanks for not ratting me out.
You piece of shit kid.
I'll take you to my house and feed your ostrich horse for you. Come on, I owe you.
Alright. As long as you're doing something. That's so cute.
Sneak up on us.
So many pig combinations.
I just stood up to the soldier, practically had them running away.
Does this guy?
Yeah, with his stuff that he bought.
He doesn't have to say who he is if he doesn't want to. Anyone who can hold his own against those bully soldiers is welcome here. Those men should be ashamed to wear Earth Kingdom uniforms.
Real soldiers are all fighting the war. Like Lee's big brother, Sensu. Supper's going to be ready soon. Would you like to stay?
I can't. I should be moving on.
Gonsu could use some help on the barn. Why don't you two work for a while, and then we'll eat.
Doesn't want to get stuff for free.
You don't seem like you're from around here. Where are you from then?
Far away.
Oh. Where are you going?
Lee,
Oh.
give it a rest. Stop asking the man personal questions.
How'd you get that scar?
The most personal question.
Bother people about things they might not want to talk about. A man's past is his business.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think that way.
Oh,
Turtle duck.
that's so good.
Hey Mom, wanna see how Azula feeds turtle duck?
Oh my god! Yeah, you deserve that.
She's just copying Azula.
Yeah, Zula's a bitch.
Yeah.
Stupid turtle duck.
No!
Do that.
That's what moms are like. If you mess with their babies, they're gonna bite you back.
Now don't abuse the animals. What?
What's this? We need equal teams to play a game. I don't want to play with you. We are brother and sister. It's important for us to spend time together.
Yes, darling, I think it's a good idea.
Try to knock the apple off the other person's head. See, I told you it would work. You two are such...
He's just coming to get you. Uncle Iroh sent us a letter from the war front.
Girls are crazy.
If the city is as magnificent as its wall. Ba Sing Se must be something to behold. Hope you all may see it if we don't burn it to the ground first.
Ha ha.
Until then, enjoy these gifts. ZUKO, a pearl dagger from the general who surrendered when we broke through the outer wall. Note the inscription.
Never give up without a fight.
And
That's
for
they used to
Azula,
cut their hair.
a new friend. Latest fashion for Earth Kingdom girls.
If Uncle doesn't make it back from war, then Dad would be next in line to be Fire Lord.
We don't speak that way. It would be awful if Uncle Iroh didn't return.
How would you like it if Cousin Liu 10 wanted Dad to die?
I still think our dad would make a much better Fire Lord.
What a crazy child.
What a peach right from the beginning. The
Oh
backstory is really
no. Kid.
good, though. You're gonna hurt yourself, kid.
Yeah. And destroy all
Sunflowers?
of these.
You're holding them all wrong. These are dual swords. Two halves of a single weapon. Don't think of them as separate, just two different parts of the same whole.
Please watch out.
I think you'd really like my brother Sensu to show me stuff like this all the time.
This ought to get you through a few meals.
Oh boy.
What do you think they want?
Trouble.
Absolute clowns. Oh.
What do you want, gal?
Someone ought to tell you your son's battalion got captured.
Why are you so smug about
Fire
it?
Nation did with their last group of Earth Kingdom prisoners.
Dressed them up in Fire Nation uniforms and put them on the front line unarmed.
That's messed up.
Watched. You watch your mouth.
That's like a serious war crime, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Why bother rooting around in the mud with these pigs?
Iroh has lost his son. Your cousin, Lieutenant, did not survive the battle.
What's gonna happen to my brother?
I'm going to the front. I'm going to find Sensu and bring him back.
Will you stay?
No. I need to move on. Here. I want you to have this. Read the inscription.
Made in Earth Kingdom.
The other one.
Never give up without a fight.
That's nice. Oh, that guy.
It was a weird, like, made in China joke that, like, didn't quite land.
Fine playing with knives. You're not even good.
Apple on your head and we'll find out how good I am.
By the way, Uncle's coming home. It means Uncle's a quitter and a loser.
What are you talking
He found out his son died and he just fell apart. Real general would stay and burn Ba Sing Se to the ground, not lose the battle and come home crying.
Probably just sad his only kid is gone.
Your father has requested an audience with Fire Lord Azula.
Can't you just call him grandfather? He's not exactly the powerful Fire Lord he used to. Probably
Oh
end
my
up taking
God.
his place soon.
Not another word. What is wrong with that child?
Even she said
Yeah.
Great grandfather won because.
Even though his army was outnumbered, he cleverly calculated his advantage. Enemy was downwind and there was a drought. Their defenses burned to a crisp in minutes.
Correct, my dear. Now, would you show grandfather the new moves you demonstrated to me? She's a true prodigy, just like her grandfather, for whom she's been.
Azulon and Azula.
I'd like to demonstrate what I've been learning. I failed.
I loved watching you. That's who you are, Zuko. Someone who keeps fighting even though it's hard.
Prince Ozai, wasting my time with this pump.
Wow.
Tell me what you want. Everyone else go.
What are you?
Father, you must have realized Liu Ten gone. Iroh's bloodline has ended after his son's death. My brother abandoned the siege at Ba Sing Se. Who knows when he will return home? But I am here. Children are alive.
Say what it is you want.
Father, Revoke Iroh's birthright. I am your humble servant. Use me.
You dare suggest I betray Iroh, my firstborn, directly after the demise of his only beloved son?
I think Iroh has suffered enough. Your punishment has scarcely begun.
Jesus.
Dad's going to kill you. Really? He is.
Nice try.
Fine. Don't believe me. Grandfather said Dad's punishment should fit his crime. You must know the pain of losing a firstborn son by sacrificing your own. Telling you for your own good. Maybe you could find a nice Earth Kingdom family to adopt you.
Stop it! You're lying. Dad would never do that to me.
Funny how things turn out.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
It's time for a talk.
Azula always lies. Azula always lies.
Azula always lies.
Turned out to be pretty true.
You have to help. The thugs from town came back as soon as Gonsu left. Or just to give them food, Lee pulled a knife on them. I don't even know where he got a knife.
Oh my
He took it
god.
away. He's old enough to join the army. I know we barely know you, but
I'll get your son back.
Really shitty how Azula's like so right, even though she's so terrible. Like she even
Yeah.
indirectly predicted this situation, kind of. Just stings even more.
Let the kid go.
Who do you think you are? Telling us what to do.
Who do you think you
Doesn't
are?
matter who I am. You're not soldiers. You're bullies, abusing your power. Mostly over women and kids. You don't want Lee in your army, sick cowards messing with a family who's already lost one son to the war.
You gonna let this stranger stand there and insult you like this?
Because of them to do it instead.
I love it's like the Yuan archers, but it's also with the Sungi horn, like Iroh. They've done that a couple times where like the Sungi horn plays whenever Zuko's like doing the right thing.
Yeah, these guys suck. They wouldn't be able to do anything if the Fire Nation came and attacked.
Yeah, these guys suck.
Not a fist fight.
Got a left sword!
Shit.
Ow.
Listen to me. Everything I've done to protect you. No matter how things may seem to change, never forget who you are.
Oh shit.
Never forget who you are.
Who are you?
My name is Zuko, son of Ursa and Fire Lord Ozai,
Oh.
Prince of the Fire Nation and heir to the throne.
Liar! I heard of you. You're an outcast. His own father burned and disowned him.
Well, that's probably pretty lucky for you.
not a step closer.
It's yours. You should have it.
No, I hate you.
Mom?
Sad.
Mm-hmm.
Mom! Mom! Where's Mom?
No one knows. And last night, Grandpa passed away.
Not funny, Azula. And I want my knife back. Now.
Who's going to make me? Mom?
I hate her.
Azula, Fire Lord to our nation for 23 years. You were our fearless leader in the Battle of Garzai.
Fire Sage.
Our matchless conqueror of the Yusin province. We lay you to rest. As was your dying wish, succeeded by your second son.
Interesting how that works out after
Yeah.
everything
Convenient. Look at her psycho of a sister.
he said. Imagine how scared he was then. He just has his sister, his dad. Iroh's not even back yet.
Yeah.
It's a crazy episode.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that? That's regarded as like one of the best episodes in the show.
It's kind of depressing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, this horribly sad backstory. It just makes me hate Azula even more, honestly. Just like seeing that she's just always been so terrible.
Sadistic.
Yeah, and like, oh, this is how Azula feeds the turtle ducks. Just throws a giant rock at it, like, yeah. That's so bad.
She's always been exceptionally sharp too, which is like there's some like orphan about that.
Yeah, like just like
creepy.
this creepy child that just is
a little bit too aware of everything.
She's just so
and
smart,
too eager to be political.
Yeah, so smart, but just so inclined towards doing like the most terrible thing possible. Yeah, she's terrible. I like that even the mom was just like,
what is wrong with that child?
What happened to my child? You know, it's yeah.
What do you think of Zuko's mom?
She's just so nice. Very I feel like their relationship is quite similar to Zuko and Iroh as well. Like this sort of supportive and gentle, but she knows that when he throws a rock at the turtle duck, she's like, okay, this is not the kind of person that he, you know what I mean? Like she knows that that's not something that he would do if he hadn't seen someone else do it. But then she like looks at Azula and is just like, this child is a monster.
Yeah.
So she's like, trying to raise Zuko nicely and not, push him towards being like that. Like, yeah. And then, it's just interesting that she can, she comes across as just very kind and caring and nice. And then their dad is obviously just terrible and very similar to Azula of like, it's kind of has funny how things work out that you get denied in a private audience of becoming the heir, and then what do you know, he's dead and his final last wishes
were for you
to be the Fire Lord. Really convenient how that works out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I guess the other option was that he could kill Zuko and, take that as a punishment.
She left in the night at the same time too.
It sucks that she didn't take Zuko with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think nobody's seen her since, so she's probably dead,
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad. And then Zuko comes in this village. What I really like about this, and also the last time when he got that bird that he rides around, is it's just he kind of relates to and hearing all of the Earth people talk about oh yeah, this person's off in the war against your people that are committing horrific war crimes and dressing up the Earth Nation captured army and dressing them up as themselves and then putting them on the front line so they get killed by their own side. It's just that's so messed up. And
it's showing that it's showing both sides are not the best, because there's people like this on the Earth Kingdom side who are terrorizing this village. And obviously the Fire Nation are known not to be the best people. But so where does that leave Zuko? And he's kind of just thrown up his hands as disconnected. That's what this is all about. But then he remembers who he is at the end, because he remembers what his mom told him to never forget himself. And it's very powerful seeing him start to firebend and regain, he's a prodigy firebender. He's supposedly not as good as Azula, obviously.
But she's so good.
But Zuko is better than almost every firebender we've seen so far. Probably better than everyone. Maybe Zhang might be better than Zuko, but and Iroh is probably better than Zuko. But he's top tier. He's still the fire prince. But yeah, there's a weird tragedy to him regaining his place or remember who he is, because we still don't know what he'll take from that. Hopefully with this experience, he seems to have grown a lot from it. But you know, it's there's sort of a foreboding quality to him regaining his identity at the end. You're still unsure how he'll proceed, and that's I think that's what's interesting about his story is like, oh, it's like, you know, he remembered who he is, he remembered his mom, he reconnected with like the good side of him. Will that be enough type thing? And but it's very triumphant, but there's also kind of a worry there, given you know, all the other parts of his backstory that we've seen.
And he still tries to give the kid the knife at the end as well, which I like that, because it's, you know, especially finding out that the knife was taken from
the Earth Kingdom.
Like taken from, I don't know, like whatever general or like whoever that had surrendered. And then they took that from him, so he's like giving it back to this kid, so the kid can,
he's kind of like making it
like
right,
defend himself,
and to pass on that same lesson that, you know, the blade and his mom and everything. It's like
it's this interesting thing where it's, you know, like he spends all his time trying to get back in the good graces of the Fire Nation, but as it goes along, it's like, not only, you know, does the Fire Nation not want you, it's like you don't necessarily align with their kind of entire regime that they've got going on, and the mindset of the people in charge is just very different from what he's kind of learning and, you know, going through as he's
so
been
like
out on
him
his
regaining
own.
himself, what does that mean in this context where he's like remembering all the memories of his mom who and the rest of his family, who there's clearly this divide of like his mom was one way and everybody else is the same way, and the Fire Nation he's returning to would be one of his father and one of his sister. So I like the way they ended off, because it's very hopeful that he's like regaining himself, but you know, the journey that he's been on since the end of the Water Tribe siege was like a healing one, a disconnecting, like who am I without the Fire Nation, and then to regain himself, like what does he think that means? How is he taking that lesson? Is it a now I'm going back to, you know, take the Avatar again, and I'm gonna really do something about it, or am I going to, you know, how is he gonna take that?
Or is it like, okay, like, it could be like, okay, I'm gonna go back and like do the same thing that I was doing before that like wasn't working for people that have just always been terrible, you know, or it could be the start of, you know, he is next in line, and you know, he's the rightful heir of that place, other than the fact that he's been disgraced and exiled. But you know, if he cares about the Fire Nation as like a concept and as his country, rather than if he wants to get back in the good graces of the Fire Nation instead of, oh, I want to get back in the good graces of my terrible dad and sister, then, you know, that's a little bit of a different trajectory there.
And I like that he doesn't clarify that at the end of this episode, because, you know, it's the first episode where we get just Zuko. That's why it's called Zuko Alone. It's like we cut between him and his backstory. Those are the two stories, like an A story, B story. Usually we cut between, and Zuko's the B story, but here he's the entire thing. And that's why people really love the episode, because it's the first time we really get to see how he reacts to situations, especially in this really conflicted time. So it's one of my favorite episodes for sure.
And it gives a little bit of time, like, just to... I liked all the backstory and everything, and this how it was kind of mirroring with what was happening in the current situation with all of that kid and everything.
And we saw with him as well. It's he this is really cool. We see Ba Sing Se, I think for the first time, or we see the wall of it, and they've like breached the wall. I don't know where that was. It's somewhere around here. The main capital city of the Earth Kingdom that Iroh was sieging with his son Lu Ten, who Zuko, I think at one point, like, said something about, I think it was when Iroh was like breaking down that one time, he was like, I think of you as one of my own, like after Lu Ten, and Zuko's like, I know. So like, you know, they probably had some kind of a relationship as well. And Lu Ten was going to be the Fire Lord one day. He was like the crown prince under Iroh. Iroh is the crown prince. But Iroh is the older brother. He was going to be Fire Lord, but then Iroh just completely crumbled when his son died, and he lost. Like, they were about to win. Like, this was like, Iroh was the Dragon of the West. That's his title. He like was a crazy powerful general and firebender and a leader, and he was going to be everything. He was going to lead everybody to victory, but then losing his son just made the entire thing the clock rolled back like 50 to 100 years with his defeat there. That's why he's like disgraced so much.
Yeah, it's also interesting.
It's just interesting to see this at this point in the story.
And just how he's like, oh yeah, like he still has this same kind of personality, but he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna burn them to the ground, and and it's so funny. And then his son dies, and it's like, okay, actually, maybe that's not, when if someone that you cares about is dying, and then I feel like it kind of puts it into perspective of like, okay, and you're killing everyone else as well. Like,
is it karma? Is that's the kind of thing. It's his warning. Is this, it's karma for everything that he's done as the crown prince. And I think he realized that. That's why he has become the person he is now.
Yeah, and it's so interesting as well because obviously not that it would have been a good thing for him to like keep going and like kill everyone and burn it to the ground and win, but then by not doing that, then it's like still ongoing, and then people are, it's like everyone is still
right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, like he could have ended the war, right?
Yeah.
Well,
but it would have still been terrible and everything.
It's conquest,
so that
it's terrible.
I guess it's bad either way, but like, because no one is as efficient as him, then it's just...
I mean, yeah, that shows like just how good of a general he was. He carved a path directly to the Earth Kingdom capital. Like, and there was Zhao. That's probably the other really ambitious guy other than Ozai himself. They're anyway, yeah. Those are the other examples of like Fire Nation generals, badass leaders, but not, they weren't even as successful. But Zhao got a little bit in over his head, killing the moon spirit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just shows like he has that. Iroh has his reputation for a reason. It's like he was so feared and so powerful, and just like that, it gives you an idea of just how much development he's gone through. Because seeing him like this, like laughing at the idea of fucking burning civilians to the ground and like homes and the huge city, like killing thousands of people, and he's like chuckling about it, just shows. And then to see him now willing to betray everybody to protect Zuko and protect spirits, he was willing to unleash the power on Zhao tenfold, and he literally attacked Zhao in that siege. So and that's a similar like capital invasion siege type thing. So when he was here, we see him sieging Ba Sing Se, the Earth Kingdom capital, and he's one way. And then we see him, one of the leaders of the Northern Water Tribe siege as well, and he is completely different. He's like acting in opposition to it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of full circle with that example. You can kind of make that connection and see just how far he's come. As far as a direct example, obviously Iroh, a simple way to connect that is that Iroh would never react like this now. So that's like the easy path. But if you make that kind of direct comparison in those more similar situations, kind of interesting. Anyway, and we also saw Azulon, the former Fire Lord. And he was weirdly loyal to Iroh as well,
Yeah.
Likely being poisoned.
Well, I would also I would be interested if Iroh came back and became the person that he is now, if he would have still held that favor, or judging by I think you need to kill your own son too kind of thing, or like if Iroh came back and then it wasn't just a temporary he's like grieving briefly and then he's gonna be back to it, and like if he didn't go back to it, if you know what I mean, like if he would have held strong in that, or if he would have said no, actually.
I think he would have, because I think we just watched Shogun, and I think it's a similar situation there, because the Fire Nation is supposed to be like Imperial Japan, and it's I think supposed to be a cultural thing as well as a narrative thing for just Avatar. Because if you remember, like in the first episode of Shogun, there's that, you know, he's a noble son or whatever, he's a samurai, and he like speaks out against one of the lords, and in order to, because he represents the you know, his lord, he has to like immediately apologize, and his apology includes ending his family line, killing both himself and his child. So, and that's like you know, that's how it's, your honor is everything. That's why Zuko's so it's again, it's not just with the story. That's what I think I like about Avatar a lot, is that it really takes in the context of the things that it's taking from, even though the two creators are like white guys. Like I think that they genuinely thought about those kind of cultural connections as well, and tried to bake that in. So like that's why Zuko's so about honor. That's why everybody hates Iroh, is because he you know, took his personal concerns over that of the nation itself, and that's like dishonorable. And now that's why everybody hates him, even though maybe in a different country, you know, if it was a more westernized perspective of the Fire Nation, if it was like America, we probably wouldn't view it as, you know, I don't think the people, like an American version of the Fire Nation wouldn't be shitting on Iroh so hard because he lost his son. It's because there's this sort of collectivist, more Eastern, specifically I think like Japanese inspired philosophy with that. And I think that the fact that that comes through in a natural way, just in their society, but also in a way that's fitting with what the cultures they're taking from, I think is really good. And it's something that is across other parts of the series as well. So dope. And yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, the backstory of this was pretty crazy. Like, just seeing this guy, and it, like, the throne room or whatever this is just cool anyway, because of like the wall of fire. It's just, yeah, I like it.
So awesome.
Freaking Azula.
Frickin' Azula, indeed. Well, great episode, everybody. You liked it?
I liked it.
Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Leave a like, subscribe. We'll see you next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.